Welcome to episode 69 of the J Bunny's Music Hub podcast. I'm your host, J Bunny. Well, everybody, for this episode of the podcast, I recorded at the dark side of the con in Parsippany, New Jersey. I sat down with Emily Lazar, aka September of September Mourning, and Rich Juzwick, who had been on the show previously. Chimed in a bit from the background, also known as a Riven in September Mourning. It was great to get to see them again. They're always a great show. Great to talk to them both. And I got to say, at one point in the conversation, Emily starts to talk about NFTs because I asked her about them because that's very much a part of what they're doing with the band these days. And I have to say, this is the first time that someone has explained NFTs to me in a way that made any goddamn sense at all. We also talk a lot about the band and all of that. And I really think that you guys are going to enjoy the conversation. Without further ado, here's Emily.
All right, what's up, everybody? It is J Bunny. I am here at the dark side of the con with September from September Mourning. How's it going?
Hi, how are you?
I'm great. It's been, as I was just telling you off the recording, it's been a hell of a weekend.
Yeah, Comic-Cons, man. They'll do you in. Drink lots of water.
Yeah. We couldn't even get a room in this hotel because by the time we decided to go, it was sold out. So we were like down the road, which is closer than I thought it was going to be, but still added extra walking to the weekend.
It sucks doing that, yeah.
But so I first became aware of you in 2014 when Rich Juzwick joined your band September Mourning. Before we get into that band specifically, though, can you tell me about sort of your journey in music up until that point?
Yeah, I got signed really young to a pop label. I did a couple pop records and got signed to 2 major indies in pop, and then I finished those deals and I was supposed to be flipped to another one, and I ended up wanting to write my own songs and stuff like that and be my own kind of artist. And I was getting really heavily into rock, and so I was kind of pushing that direction, and that wasn't really what they were seeing for me. So I ended up just kind of starting something new, and that ended up becoming September Mourning a couple years later. And it basically started with the graphic novel, the storyline, which I started writing in 2009, but wasn't published till 2014. And it took all of that time from 2009 to 2014, 5 years to put the band together, figure out the sound, the songs, the actual lineup. And then 2014, we really started touring heavily and putting everything together.
2015.
2015, sorry, 2015.
That's when we did Rock and Never Engine Download.
Oh, I thought 2014. Okay, 2015. Sorry, 2015. Yeah.
All right. And I mentioned Rich, who's kind of chiming in from the background. He joined the band, I believe, around that time, 14, 15.
Yeah.
What made you want him to be involved?
He was leaving Gemini at that time, and I knew how he started that band and put everything together. He made that band work from the ground up. It was his thought process, his idea from the start, that whole thing. Everything from the look of it to the symbol to everything was Rich. Right. He wrote the first album, so he was that band. So for me, him leaving that band was a great opportunity for me because I saw somebody who was a founder and creator of something that could have been really successful, and I thought, this is the guy that I want to be my partner in something that I want to make really successful. When my manager found out that he was leaving, he was like, "You have to get Rich," because he knew how Rich was a powerhouse, and he really is, and he's always been that way. He's always been really smart and talented and proficient and work ethic like me, same sort of work ethic. So we really gelled like that, and we think about art and music the same way. So it was just a really good fit.
Oh, perfect. Now, you mentioned the graphic novel. Obviously, September Mourning is more than just a band. It's a full-fledged multimedia project with the graphic novel. I remember reading that there was a proposed web series at one point.
Yeah, and MTV, yeah.
And, the music seems to be this vehicle to tell this overarching story. Mm-hmm. How does this approach impact the songwriting as opposed to a band that's less thematic?
I mean, it's basically everything kind of stems from a center character and what she's feeling and how that revolves in the story and stuff like that. So, I mean, it does come from personal places, things that I've experienced or somebody around me in my orbit has experienced. So, but that all can kind of translate into the character. The character is interesting because she is a soul reaper, like she takes souls, but she also gives people second chances at life. But when she takes a soul, she gets all of their memories and all of their emotions and like everything that they've been through in their life, like all in like 3 seconds or something like that. So if she's a soul collector and she's been doing this for a while, like you can imagine that she has like a plethora of imagination to draw from when it comes to songwriting, right? So I can basically talk about anything with her because she's been through everything because she's collected all these souls. So like that, I wanted to do a character that was like that, so I wouldn't have to be super pigeonholed into lyrics and stuff like that for the story. It could be somebody that could write about like emotion more,
right?
And that's kind of how it came to be.
Alrighty. Now you have a long-established relationship with Sahaj from the band Ra, who's co-written songs and been involved in the production side of most, if not all, of the music that you've released so far. Can you tell me a bit about that relationship and what he brings to the table that another producer might not?
Sahaj basically like cultivated me like with songwriting. Like I came to him really green when I was writing songs, and he kind of like helped me find my voice in songwriting. And he helps craft things, and if I come to him with an idea, lyrics, and this and that, the other thing, he'll be like, this is good, like, what if we did this? Like, he's good to bounce things off of, to create what I feel like I want to create. Like, the version that I would come up with when he's involved and when Rich is involved, it's like, it gets to another level, and that's what you want when you have writing partners.
Right.
So, yeah, he's amazing, he's great.
All right, and now that Ra is more active again in touring and recording, is he still going to be as involved with you as he's been in the past?
Oh yeah, I'm sure. Like we're good friends, and he's family at this point. So
All right. So in addition to performing with September Mourning, you're also supposed to be giving a panel discussion about NFTs.
Yeah.
Can you tell me about your involvement with NFTs and perhaps explain to the audience what they are?
Yeah, sure. So an NFT is a non-fungible token. It's a type of tech that can be attached to anything from like music to art. It's blockchain tech. So let me put this a way that would be very layman's terms. So the blockchain, if you don't know what blockchain is, it's basically like a public Excel spreadsheet where everybody can see everything that's happening on it. So that being said, it is total transparency. And if you know the music business, it's total non-transparent. If you want to know where the money goes in the music business, there's no way to follow the money. Like, it's very hard to follow the money. On the blockchain, you follow the money easily. You also follow the exchange of hands and things like that for certain things. So for artists, it's a really important tool, because when you're selling direct to consumer without a third party, they're not taking a piece of what you're selling.
Right.
So the artist reaps the benefit and the reward of the financial security of everything that they sell. And because of how the blockchain works and how everything, when it's put onto the blockchain, it's there forever.
Right.
Let's put it like this. If I was Picasso and I sold you one of my paintings back in the day, and you got it, and Picasso got bigger and bigger, and you ended up selling it, you bought the painting for $1,000 from me, right? You sell it to Rich for $500,000 like 5 years later because Picasso got bigger. I would never see any of that money. But on the blockchain, because it's in the ledger and my wallet address is attached to the NFT. When somebody sells my piece to somebody else, I get 10% of that sale automatically.
Oh, wow.
So that's in perpetuity. So if it flips and flips and flips and flips and flips, I'm constantly getting royalties.
Okay.
So it's transparent royalty exchange without a third party. Spotify gives us, 0.003 cents per stream.
Right.
You need to make, I think, 1 million streams to make $3,000 on Spotify. Most bands don't make 1 million streams in like a day or a week or a month. So if you break that down into how many people that are writing it and this and that, the other thing, and where the money goes, like that's not a lot of money at all.
Right.
But with NFTs, if I sell like something for $150 and my song for $150, I get that $150.
Right.
And then I get 10% of that in perpetuity as long as it flips. And nobody else gets that. It gets directly to me. So the dissolvement of the third party is like really, really important moving forward in artists, like in their financial system. And right now, if you look at the financial system of artists, it is the breakdown is platform is up top and artist is on bottom.
Right.
Platform, then it gets dissolved, the financials get dissolved to the artist. In NFTs, it's artist and then the dissolvement to platform.
Right.
It's a total opposite, and that's why it's so important. So as long as the space grows and more artists come in and realize this, they will understand that they can make astronomical amounts of more money than they are right now through NFTs. And that's kind of like the basis of what NFTs can do as a vehicle for finance for artists. And that's why it's so important.
Okay.
The devaluation of music has been a thing for like 30 years about now.
Right.
It started with like CDs, and then it went to downloads, and then it went to streaming. And in that, it used to be you paid like $30 for a record,
right.
and the breakdown even from platform to artist wasn't so bad, so the artist still could get these 6-figure record deals. Now you're getting like 4-figure record deals because like it's not $30 anymore. Nobody buys anything physical anymore. It's streaming. It's $10 a month.
Right.
You do the math. Like there's no money there for an artist. So we need a platform where the valuation is put back into the music, it's put back into the art, and that is on the blockchain. So that's kind of how it works.
And that pretty much seems to be the answer to the question that I ask everybody that's on the show about how they, you kind of are, but if you have anything else to elaborate about how you feel about where things are with the music industry and that the current model, nobody buys anything.
It's not working. It's working for the consumer, kinda. But what I've learned through NFTs is if consumers of your music love your music, they will pay for your music.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Like in NFTs, you don't need... There's a vanity metric that's been pushed on us and forced on us in the music industry. Vanity metric just means that like, oh, you have 1 million followers on Instagram, you have 1 million this, you have 100,000 followers on this platform, but that's a vanity metric. It doesn't mean anything.
Right.
Like you can buy those vanity metrics. People can buy spins on Spotify. You can buy people on Instagram. Nobody really knows how many followers you. There's no transparency over there. The blockchain, you can't hide.
Right.
You have 500 collectors. You have 500 fucking collectors. You can't do a vanity metric over there. You have to do what you do, which means that you don't need 1 million collectors over there. One of the highest selling artists in NFTs right now is somebody that I did a collaboration with, and his name is Sabet. And he is, I think he has 1,000 collectors. Okay. And I can't even tell you how many millions he's made.
Wow.
And that's with 1,000 collectors. Because his art flips, it sells, it flips, it he keeps on putting out pieces, he's doing generative projects, he's doing all this sort of stuff. I've learned a lot from his business model. I was the first female rock metal musician to mint and sell an NFT on the blockchain. So I kind of go down in history like that.
Right.
And I'm really pushing this dynamic of technology because like I said, this is like NFTs equal freedom for artists. It's kind of like this. The music industry wants you to think that there are a bunch of rats in a room and there's a little piece of cheese. That's what they want you to think.
Yeah.
In NFTs, you realize that there's a bunch of rats in the room, but the whole fucking room is made of cheese. And that's the difference. So you have an abundance mentality versus a scarcity mindset.
Right.
And scarcity is what they teach us in music. That's what they teach us in everything because that's a control issue for them. That means they have control of the industry. Without that mindset, without artists being like, they don't have control of you. So when they don't have control of you, look at what we're doing. And look at what we're doing in NFTs. If you look at the environment over there and you look at the people that are excelling and how we're excelling and how we're building it and how we're helping each other and how people aren't I'm not going to tell this person what I'm doing. No, we're all sitting in rooms on Clubhouse and Twitter Spaces, sharing alpha all the time, information. Hey, how did that work for you? How does that work for you? How do you do this? We're all in it together because there's no scarcity over there. There's abundance.
Right.
And the more that you push that, the more people will come in. And guess what? There's more cheese in the room if more people come in.
Right.
You know? So that's the mindset. And we really need to switch our way of thinking. But it's a whole process for people to do that. It took me a minute to figure that out during the pandemic. I literally had to switch the way I was thinking about art. But I did.
Right.
And now I'm doing very well with it.
Awesome. So, like I said, we're at the dark side of the con. This con is a bit more music-oriented than most, so it's not surprising to see you playing here. But you have also played it at Comic-Cons in the past. Do you get a different audience reaction in like a Comic-Con room versus like playing a club?
Yeah. It's like cons are full of people. Well, usually, I don't know about this one. What? Rich, you want to say something?
I would say that at the cons, it's not a popularity contest. It's literally just they look at it and they listen to it and they're like they're into it or they're not. You know what I mean? Like if they think the show's cool and the music's cool, they like it. They're not worried about social media and name dropping and you know this band hanging out with that band and just all the vanity stuff. They don't care. You know the cons just appreciate whatever art's in front of them and just take it.
I think that comes from, it probably stems from what I was going to say is at cons, like, especially Comic-Cons, I'm not sure about this one, I've never done this one before, but at the Comic-Cons we've played at, and it's kind of like an NFTs, those people are collectors.
Right.
They like to collect things. That means that they are invested in the IP. And when you're invested in an IP, it's kind of like you're in the world. And I'm a world builder. If you look at September Mourning, I've built a world. Even in the NFTs that I've done have been world building for September Mourning. I mean, it's all encompassed in everything. And when you look on the stage tonight, what you'll find is September's Monsters, which is a variant storyline based on the NFT project we did called September's Monsters that sold out. So, and that's a generative project that redefines music distribution through the blockchain. In my generative project, the NFTs that I sell, each NFT grants you access to my music in perpetuity to download. So if you hold the NFT, you get free music for life.
Oh, okay.
And you get free graphic novels. And you get free comic books. You get whatever I put into that download channel that's token gated on my Discord, and you can get into if you hold a September's Monster. You get whatever I put in there for free for life, as long as you hold it.
Wow.
That is music distribution at its finest. And I do that because you pay a set amount and then you can flip it if you want or whatever. But I know that even with that set amount, if I sell a vanity metric of even 1,000, I've made more than I will make on Spotify probably for like 10 years.
Wow.
So why would I care? You know what I'm saying? But that being said, going back to the collector issue, like Rich said, if they like it and they think it's cool, they want to invest in that IP. And you want people that invest in your IP.
Now, we had talked a bit before the pandemic and just being aware of the band and everything. You guys, before COVID hit, were working on and planning Volume 4.
Which we've released some of.
Right. Well, I was going to say, some songs have been released, but I haven't seen a full album come out. Does that have a planned release date? Or
we have a whole planned release on it, but we're doing it through... Well, I don't really want to say what we're doing yet. Okay. But it's going to be an interesting way of releasing it. It's going to be different. We're going to do it a different way.
It will happen this year.
It will happen this year, but the way we're going to do it is a lot different, and it's more in tune with the way I'm thinking about the music business and how I want to pursue the music business from here on out. So,
all right.
Yeah.
Excellent. So it seems like you guys have a substantial amount of touring going on this year. You're currently out with Orgy. After that, you guys are going out with Raw, Stitch It Apart, and Killicoy in May and June. What's next for you and the band beyond that?
I don't think we've announced.
I can play everything that's announced.
Oh, okay. Well, Rich has the announcements.
Okay, so we're doing a bunch of one-off shows in April with the Lonely Ones. So we start with them next week. And then we go to Anchorage, Alaska for Arctic Comic Con. And then the week after that, we go to Minneapolis for Anime Minneapolis. And then...
Anime Midwest.
Well, no. And then in May, we do the shows with Raw and Killicoy and Stitch Apart. And then 4th of July weekend, Anime Midwest in Chicago. Then we're about to announce like about a week or two worth of shows with someone that I can't say yet.
Okay.
But that's the end of July. And then in August, we're doing a couple festivals in Wisconsin, Michigan, Missouri, and then there's like one-off shows with Raw, Smile Empty Soul, Tantric, And then we just confirmed another festival in October, but I can't say what it is yet.
Okay, cool.
So,
So very busy.
way busier than I thought we were going to be. I thought it was going to be like, hey, here's 2 weeks of shows, and there's another 2 weeks of shows, and good luck.
Well, I hope you mentioned The Lonely Ones. I hope that comes through Jersey since they had to cancel the show they were supposed to have yesterday.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so we have the same agent, so the likelihood of us doing more with them is pretty high. And they're from Columbus, and I'm in Cincinnati, so they're 2 hours away from. We have 2 hours away from each other's home bases. So.
Awesome. Well, that is all I've got for you guys today. I want to thank you for the time, and can't wait to see the show again.
Yeah, it'll be fun. This one's so fun.
Everything's gonna work.
Yay!
Yeah, it'll work.
Don't tell me that you're not, 'cause I know you're dirty. Don't tell me that you're not, 'cause I know you're dirty. I know you're dirty. I know you're dirty. I know you're dirty. I hate you when you start up fucking with my phone line. Are you ever gonna stop? Get to the ending. Come and call me nasty. Live in your projection. Think the world will listen. Not this time. I wasted my life feeding on your demons. Now they're chasing me, and I can't get away. Don't you dare get too dirty on me. So shady, acting like you're all clean. Ooh, I've had enough. Don't you dare get too dirty on me. Out for blood, got you feeling thirsty. Ooh, get too dirty on me. Had me feeling guilty, twisting truth for fiction. But lies for liars never stick. Are you offended? Get on words while you're trying to save face. Nasty little needle pumping poison through veins. Recognize the devil even when you play the saint. Your confessions are the weakest in the game. Don't you dare get too dirty on me. So shady, acting like you're all clean. Ooh, I've had enough. Don't you dare get too dirty on me. Out for blood, got you feeling thirsty. Ooh, get too dirty on me. Scream through the silence I keep. Show them how your walls have been broken. Bury yourself underneath. Can't hide from eyes that are Don't you dare get too dirty on me. So shady, acting like you're all clean. Ooh, I've had enough. Don't you dare get too dirty on me. Out for blood, got you feeling thirsty. Ooh, get too dirty on me.
And with one of their latest singles, that is September Mourning with Dirty. I want to thank Emily and Rich for being on the show. It's great to see you guys again. If you guys all want to follow them on social media, you can follow the band September Mourning on Facebook and Instagram at September Mourning, and on Twitter at September Mourning, but it's spelled a little wonky. It's SEPTMBRMOURNING. You can also follow Emily on Twitter and Instagram at EmilyLazar_SM. And you can follow Rich on Twitter and Instagram at Rich Juzwick. You You can also follow the J Bunny's Music Hub podcast on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Don't forget we also have a Patreon that's looking for subscribers. And if you believe in supporting music the way that I do by buying it, then follow the Industry Embers on Facebook and Twitter at Industry Embers, and make sure to tweet and post your music purchases with the hashtag BuyMusic, B-U-Y, or it's BuyMusic, B-Y-E. As far as what's next for the podcast, I do have a particular artist that I am trying to figure out booking something with. It hasn't been working out so far, but I'm going to keep trying because it'd be very important for somebody that's very special to me if I can get this interview booked. I do also have some other people sort of waiting in the wings or just waiting to set something up. So definitely look for more content as the days and weeks go on. Now, I do also, before I forget, Rich had mentioned in the interview that they had some touring coming up with a band that he could not reveal. It has since been revealed that that tour is going to be with the band Bisto Blanco, and it does look like they are going to be coming back to New Jersey in late July. So can't wait to see them back in the area. I think that is about all that I've got for you guys today. I am going to leave you with the latest single from September Mourning. This is Mausoleum. Until next time, guys.
I left you till my heart cracked. I felt it like a car crash.